大家好，我是黄振翔。现在我要背诵的是英文名著选。1. God save the Queen, British national anthem. God save our gracious Queen. Long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious. Long to reign over us. God save the Queen. All our God arise. Scatter our enemies and make them fall. Confound their navy's tricks. Confuse their politics. On your hopes we fix. God save the Queen. Not in this land alone, but because mercy is known, from shore to shore, long make the nation see, the measure borrowed speed, and from one family, the wide world o'er, from every little fall, from the citizens below, God save the Queen. All who lie on extent, for Britain's sake defend, our mother, prince, and friend, God save the Queen. Lay choicest gifts in store, on her be praised to pour, long may she reign, may she defend our wrongs, and ever give us cause, to sing with heart and voice, God save the Queen. 2. The Star-Spangled Banner, USA National Anthem, by Francis Scott Key. O second you see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we held, in the twilight that's gleaming, whose brows chastened bright stars, through the perilous fight. All the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night, the tower flag was still there. O say does light, Star-Spangled Banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. On the shore dimly seen through the mists of the deep, where the foe's hearty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which will breathe over towering steep? As it fearfully blows, now conceals none this colossus, now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the Star-Spangled Banner, alone may it wave, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. And where is that band who so vaunting this war? In the havoc of war, and the battle's confusion, a home and a country should leave us no more. The balance has wiped out, therefore our footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and slave, from the terror of fright or the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph does wave, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. Oh, last be it ever when freemen shall stand, between their left homes and the world's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescue land, praise the power that has met and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, for our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And the Star-Spangled Banner forever shall wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. 3. Apollo the musician, means of grace and wrong. It is said that on a certain occasion, Pan had the temerity to compare his music with that of Apollo, and to challenge the god of the lyre to the trial of skill. The challenge was accepted, and Timaeus, the mountain god, was chosen umpire. The singer took his seat and cleared the weather trees from his ears to listen. At a given signal, Pan blew on his pipes, and with his rustic melody, gave great satisfaction to himself and his faithful follower Midas, who happened to be present. Then Timaeus turned his head toward the sun god, and all his strength turned with him. Apollo rose, his bow raised with pronouncing roll, while his new bow of Tyrian purple swept the ground. In his left hand he held the lyre, and with his right hand struck the strings. Timaeus at once invoked the victory to the lyric god, and all but Midas acquiesced in the judgment. He dissented, questioning the justice of the award. Apollo promptly transformed his pair of ears into those of an earth. King Midas tried to hide his misfortune under an ample turban, but his hairdresser found it too much for his discretion to keep such a secret. He dug a hole in the ground and, stooping down, whispered a story and covered it up. But a thick battle breeze, springing up in the meadow, began whispering the story, and has continued to do so from that day to this, every time a breeze passes over the place. 4. The sun guardian sunflower, means of grace and wrong. Calliope was a water nymph and in love with Apollo, who met her no return, so she piled away, sitting all day long upon the cold ground, with her unbound tresses streaming over her shoulders. That day she sat and tasted no food nor drink. Her own tears and truly through her only food, she gazed on the sun when he rose, she gazed on the sun when he rose, and as he passed through his daily course to his setting, she saw no other object her face turned constantly on him. At last, they say, her limbs loosened the ground. Her face became a flower, which turns on its stem so as always to face the sun throughout its daily course, for it retains to that extent the feeling of the length from whom it sprang. 5. Injustice by Plato. But in reality, justice was such as we were describing, being concerned, however, not with the outward man, but with the inward, which is the true self and concernment of man. For a just man does not permit the several elements within him to interfere with one another, or any of them to do the work of others. He sets in order his own inner life, and is his own master and his own law, and at peace with himself. And when he has bound together the three principles within him, which may be compared to the higher, lower, and middle notes of a scale, and the intermediate intervals, when he has bound all this together, and he is no longer many, but has become one entirely temperate and perfectly of the just nature, then he proceeds to act, if he has to act, whether in the matter of property, or in the treatment of a body, or in some affair of politics or private business, always thinking and calling that which preserves and cooperates with this harmonious condition, just and good action, in the knowledge which presides over it, wisdom, and that which at any time impairs this condition, he will call unjust action, and the opinion which presides over it, ignorance. 6. On self-discipline by Aristotle. Virtue, then, is of two kinds, intellectual and moral. Intellectual virtue springs from and grows from teaching, and therefore needs experience and time. Moral virtues come from habit. They are ignorance, not by nature, nor in respect of nature, but we are furnished by nature with the capacity for receiving them, and will develop them through habit. These virtues we acquire by first exercising them, as in the case of other arts. Whatever we learn to do, we learn by actually doing it. Men come to be builders, for instance, by building, and helpers by playing the harp. In the same way, by doing just acts, we come to be just. By doing self-control acts, we come to be self-controlled. And by doing brave acts, we become brave. How we act in our relations with other people makes us just or unjust. How we face dangerous situations, either accustoming ourselves to fear or confidence, makes us brave or cowardly. Occasions of lust and anger are similar. Some people become self-controlled and patient from their conduct in such situations, and others uncontrolled and passionate. In our world, then, activities produce similar dispositions. Therefore, we must give a certain character to our activities. In short, the habits we form from childhood make no small difference, but rather they make all the difference. Moral virtue is the mean balance between two vices, one of excess, and the other of deficiency, and it aims at hitting the mean, both in feelings and actions. So it is hard to be good, for surely it is hard in each instance to find the mean. Just as it is difficult to find the center of a circle, it is easy to get angry or to spend money. Anyone can do that. But to act the right way, to work the right person into proportion, at the right time, for the right reason and in the right manner, this is not easy, and not everyone can do it. 7. On friendship by Aristotle. As the motive to friendship differ in kind, so do the respective feelings and friendships. The species then of friendship are three, in number equal to the objects of it, since in the life of each there may be mutual friendship mutually known. Now they who have friendship for one another desire one another's good, according to the motive of their friendship. Accordingly, they whose motive is utility have no friendship for one another really, but only in so far as some good arises to them from one another, and they whose motive is pleasure are in like case. I mean, they have friendship for men of easy pleasantry, not because they are of a given character, but because they present to themselves. Such friendships are, of course, very liable to dissolution if the parties do not continue alike. I mean, that the other cease to have any friendship for them when they are no longer appreciable or useful. That then is perfect friendship, which subsists between those who are good, and whose similarity consists in their goodness, for these men wish one another's good in similar ways. Insofar as they are good, and good are in themselves, and those are especially friends who wish good to their friends for their sakes, because they feel less to worry on their own account, and not just a mere matter of result. So the friendship between these men continues to subsist, so long as they are good, and goodness we know has in it a principle of permanence. Though it is probable friendships of this kind will be, because men of this kind are rare. Besides, all requisite qualifications being presupposed, there is further requiring time and intimacy. For, as Palmer says, men cannot know one another till they have eaten the requisite quantity of salt together, nor can they in fact admit one another to intimacy, much less be friends, till each has appeared to the other and been proved to be fit object of friendship. Object of friendship. Power object of friendship. Man whose ability commence. Power object of friendship. They whose ability commence. Interchange of friendly actions. May be said to wish to be friends. May be said to wish to be friends, but they are not so. Unless are also proper object of friendship, and mutually known to be such. That is to say, and desire for friendship may arise quickly, but not friendship itself. 8. Of study, by Francis Bacon. Study is for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Their trivials for delight is in privateness and retiring, for ornament is in discourse, and for ability is in the judgment and disposition of speediness, for experiment can execute, and perhaps judge of particulars one by one, but not general counsels, and the parts and marshalling of affairs converts from those that are learned. Reading makes a foreman, conference and regimen, and writing an exact man, and therefore, if a man read little, he had only have a great memory. If he confer little, he had only have a present weight, and if he read little, he had only have much cunning. The same generally he does not. Histories make men wise, poems witty, the mathematics subtle, natural philosophy deep, moral grave, logic and rhetoric able to content, a beyond studio in morals. Nay, there is no stone non-impediment in the weight, but may be wrought up by free studies. Like the diseases of the body may have appropriate exercises. Bowling is good for the stone and rest, shooting for the lungs and breast, gentle walking for the stomach, rallying for the head and the like. 9. Spring by William Shakespeare. When there is pie and violet blue, and there is marks all silver white, can cuckoo buds of yellow hue, to paint the meadows with delight. The cuckoo then on every tree marks merriment, for that since he, cuckoo, 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 or word of fear unpleasing to a merry ear, when shepherds pipe on ocean's troughs, and merry like some palmer's crocks, when turtles tread and looks and doors, and maiden speech the summer's marks. The cuckoo then on every tree marks merriment, for that since he, cuckoo, 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 or word of fear unpleasing to a merry ear. 10. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by William Shakespeare. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty past from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all unrested days have let it fall. The way to dusty days, out, brief candle, left but a walking shadow, the poor player. Less charge and first is hour upon the stage, and then his heard no more. It is a tale told by an agent, full of sounding fury, signifying nothing. 11. To be or not to be by William Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is not born in the mind, to suffer the sins and errors of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing alien, to die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache, and the thousand natural shocks the first is heir to, just a consummation devotedly to be wished, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub, for in the sleep of death our dreams may come. When we have suffered love its mortal coil, must give us pause, there's the respect, the next calamity of so long life. For who would bear the withstand some time, the appraisals raw, the promise continually, the pains of despised love, the lost delay, the insolence of office, and thus burns the patient merit of the unworthy text, when he himself met his creditors make. Was a bare Bacon, who follows bear, to contents wait under a weary life, but little dread of something after death, the undiscovered country, from whose born no trouble returns, pours those are well, and makes us rather bear those ills we have, than fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowardice of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicked o'er with a pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment. With this regard their courage turn right, and lose the name of action. 12. Virtual, by George Herbert. Sweet day so cool, so calm, so red brighter of the earth and sky. The dew shall weep thy fall tonight, for love must die. Sweet rose, whose hue and green brave, bids the rush gather, wipe his eye, like notice ever in its grave, and love must die. Sweet spring, full of sweet dance and roses, and bugs was which compacted lie. My music shall thee have your caresses, and all must die. Only a soul wit and virtual soul, like seasoned timber, never gives, but though the whole world turn to cold, then chiefly lives. 13. On goodwill, by manual count. Nothing can possibly be conceived in the world, or even out of it, which can be called good without qualification, except the goodwill, intelligence, wit, judgment, and the other talents of the mind, however they may be named, or courage, resolution, perseverance, as qualities of temperament, are undoubtedly good and desirable in many respects, but these gifts of nature may also become extremely bad and mischievous, if the will which is to make use of them, and which therefore constitutes what is called character, is not good. It is the same with the gift of fortune, power, riches, honor, even health, and the general well-being and contentment with one's condition, which is called happiness, inspire pride and often presumption. If there is not a good will, we character the influence of this on the mind, and with this also to rectify the whole principle of acting, and adapted to its end. The sight of a being who is not glowing with a single feature of a pure and good will, enjoying unbroken prosperity, can never give pleasure to an impartial, rational spectator. Thus, a good will appears to constitute the indispensable condition even of being worthy of happiness. A good will is good, not because of how it performs or affects, not by its happiness for the attainment of some proposed end, but simply by virtue of the position that it is good in itself and considered by itself, is to be still much higher, and only can be brought about by it in favor of any inclination, nay, even over the sum total of all inclinations. 14. A red rose, by Robert Burns. All men loves like a red rose, less loneliness one in June. All men loves like a melody, less sweetly put in tune. As fear along my body lies, so deep in love am I. I will love you still, my dear, till all the seas can dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with a song. I will love you still, my dear, while the sadness of life shall run, and feel you well, my only love, and feel you well, and I will come again, my love, though in what 10,000 miles. 15. The Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to resolve the political bands which have connected them with one another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, and this respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to a separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, driving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of a people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to themselves seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that the governments long established should not be changed for light and changing causes, and accordingly Our experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, and to rid themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But where a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a desire to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having direct object the establishment of absolute tyranny over the states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. In every stage of these operations, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. All repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may defy a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people, nor have we been wanting in attention to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by the legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have been reminded then of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the text of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which will inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, and the amazing world in peace friends. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assemble, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by the authority of the great people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right to be free and independent states, that they are resolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, concur peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states lay of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and sacred honor. 16. She Walks in Beauty by George Gordon Byron. She walks in beauty like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright, missing her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to their tender light, which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade more, one ray less, had half impaired the nameless grace, which waved in every raven tress, or softly lightens all her face, or thoughts serenely sweet express. How pure, how dear their dwelling place, on the cheek and all the brow, so soft, so calm yet eloquent. The smiles the wind, the tints they glow, but tell of theirs in goodness spent. Among the peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. 17. Farewell Address by George Washington. Friends and fellow citizens, the period for new election of a citizen to the ministry executive government of the United States being not far distant, and the time actually arrived when your thoughts must be employed in designating the person who is to be clothed with that important trust. It appears to me proper, especially as it may conduce to a more distinct expression of the public voice, that I shall now apprise you of the resolution I have formed. To decline being considered among the number of those out of whom a choice is to be made, The basis of our political systems is the right of a people to make and to alter the constitutions of government, but a constitution which at any time exists till changed by an explicit and authentic act of a whole people is secretly obligatory upon all. The very idea of a power and the right of a people to establish government principles is the duty of every individual to obey the established government. Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. In vain would the man claim the tribute of patriotism, who should able to subvert these great pillars of human happiness, these famous proofs of the duties of men and citizens. The mere politician, equally with the pious man, ought to respect and to cherish them. A volume could not trust all the connections with private and public felicity. Let it simply be asked, where is the security for property, for reputation, for life, if a sense of one could not trust all the connections with private and public felicity? Let it simply be asked, where is the security for property, for reputation, for life, if the sense of religion's obligation, deserve the oaths which are the instruments of investigation in courts of justice, and judges with caution, indulge the supposition that morality can be maintained without religion. Whatever may be conceded to the influence of refined education, a mass of peculiar structure, reason and expect, the national morality can prevail an exclusion of religion's principle. It is substantially true that virtue or morality is a necessary spring of popular government. The rule indeed extends with more or less force to every species of free government. Who that is a sincere friend to it can look with indifference upon attempts to shake the foundation of the fabric, but more than as an object of primary importance. Institutions for the general diffusion of knowledge, in proportion as the structure of a government gives force to public opinion, it is essential to public opinion should be enlightened, observe great faith and justice toward all nations, cultivate peace and harmony with all, religion and morality enjoin its conduct, and carry the good policy does not equally enjoin it. It will be worthy of a free, enlightened, and no distant period a great nation to give to mankind the magnanimous and novel example of a people always guided by exalted justice and benevolence. The great rule of conduct for us in regard to foreign nations is, in extending our commercial relations to have with them, as little political connection as possible. So far as we have already found engagements, let them be fulfilled with perfect good faith. Here let us stop. Europe has a set of primary interests, which to us have none, our very remote relation. Why? By interweaving our destiny with that of any part of Europe, entangle our peace and prosperity in the toils of European ambition, rivalship interests, human caprice. Knowing reviewing the incidents of my administration, I am unconscious of intentional error. I am nevertheless too sensible of my defects as to think it probable that I may have committed many errors. However they may be, I fervently beseech the Almighty to avoid mitigated the evils to which they may tend. I shall also carry with me the hope that my country will never cease to be learned with indulgence and that, after 45 years of my life, dedicated to the service with an upright zeal, the faults of incompetent abilities will be consigned to oblivion, as myself must soon be to the mansions of rest, relying on its kindness in this as in other things, and actuated by the fervent love toward it which is so natural to a man, who views in it the native soil of himself and his progenitors for several generations. I anticipate with pleasing expectation the retreat in which I promise myself to realize without alloy the sweet enjoyment of partaking in the midst of my fellow citizens, the benign influence of good laws under a free government, the ever favorite object of my heart, and a happy reward, as I trust, of all mutual cares, labors, and dangers. 18. Out to the West Wind, by Percy Bysshe Shelley. If I were death, if not majesty bearer, if I were self-crowned to fire with thee, with the pen beneath thy power and swear, the impulse of thy strength, only less free than law, or uncontrollable. If even I were as in my boyhood, and could be the comrade of the wanderings over heaven, as then, when to outstrip the skies be, scarce similar vision, I would never have striven, as lost with thee in prayer in my sovereign name. Oh, lift me as a wave, lift a cloud. For upon the sorrows of life I believe, a heavy weight of hours has strained and bow. Unto like thee, 10 minutes and swift and power, make me thy lyre, even as a force is. What if my leaves are fallen? What if my leaves are fallen like its own? The tumult of thy mighty harmonies, what take from both a deep eternal tongue? Spirit love and suddenness, be thou spirit fierce. My spirit, be thou my impetuous wine. Join my dead thoughts of in your livers, like withered leaves to quicken new birth. And by the incantation of this verse, scatter a strong and unextinguished hearth, ashes and sparks, my words among mankind, be through my lips to unawaken earth, the trumpet of a prophecy of wind. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? 19. Ode to a Nightingale, by John Keats. My heart aches at the drowsy numberless pains, my sense as law of hemlock I had drunk, on empty sundown opiate to the dreams, when May passed and less was had sunk. 'Tis not through envy of the happy lot, but being too happy in the happiness, then law that we enjoy of the trees, in some melodious part, of picturing green in shadow's numbness, singest of summer for slowly ease. All for a joy of vintage, all for a joy of vintage that has been, all for a joy of vintage that has been, cooled a long age in the depth of earth, cooled a long age in the depth of earth, testing of flower and the country green, dance and provincial song and somber mirth, all for a beaker full of warm souls, full of the true, the bountiful Hippocrene, with speedy bubbles waking the brain, and purpose their mouth. Let I drink and leave the world unseen, and with the fade away into the false din. Fade far away, the soft and quiet forget, what love among the leaves has never known, the weariness, the fever, and the fret. Here, women sit, and here each other groan, but palsy shakes the field sight, last grey hairs, rose grows pale, and spectres and dies, her battles and kiss to be full of sorrow, and leaden eye despairs. Her beauty cannot keep her lustrous eyes, all new love past and then beyond tomorrow. Away, away, for I will fight to lead, not charioted by Bacchus at his pass, but on the viewless wings of poesy. Lower thou brain, perplexes and retires. Already with thee, tender is the night, and happy the queen moon is on her soaring. Clustered round by all her starry face, but here there is no light, save what from heaven is with the breezes blown. Through verdurous screams and winding mossy ways, I cannot see what flowers are at my feet, not what soft incense hangs upon the boughs, but in a bone darkness guess each is weight, where is the seasonable mountain doves, the grace, the secret, and the future wild, when hawthorn, and the pastoral eglantine, fast willing violets covered up his leaves, and made mass of this child, the coming masquerades full of dewy wine, the murmurs hot of fires on summer eves. Darkly I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with its for days, called him soft names in many a mute rhyme, to take into the air my quiet breath. Now more than ever seems it rich to die, to sink upon the midnight with no pain, where law of pouring forth and soul brow, in such an ecstasy, still was the lost in, and I have years in vain, to the heroic and become sad. Love was not born for death's immortal bird, no hungry generations trodden down. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and crown. Perhaps the self-same song that found the past, fruitless that heart of lose when sick for home. She stood in tears amid the alien calling, the same that oft times has, charmed magic casement opening on the foam. of perilous seas and fairylands forlorn. Forlorn, the very word is like a bell to turn me back from thee to my sole self. Adieu, then fancy cannot choose so well, as she is fain to do, deceiving off. Adieu, adieu, the plaintive ancient fades, past the new meadows, over the still stream, up the hillside, and noticed very deep. In the next valley glass was a vision of a waking dream. Fright is the music, the wake or sleep. 20. I remember by Thomas Hood. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in the morn. He never came awake too soon, nor brought to long a day. By now I often wish the night had borne me washed away. I remember the first. I remember where I remember the roses red. I remember the house where I was born, the little window where the sun came peeping in the morn. He never came awake too soon, nor brought a longer day. By now I often wish the night had borne me washed away. I remember the roses red and white, the violets and the lily cups, those flowers made of light. The lilacs were the robin belt, and what my brother said, the bird on his birthday, the tree is living yet. I remember where I was used to spring, and still the air must rise as fresh to swallows on the wing. My spirit full in feathers then, it is unhappy now, and summer pools go hotly cool, the fever on my brow. I remember the fir-trees dark and high. I used to think their slender tops were crossed against the sky. It was a childish ignorance, but now this little joy. Till now I am further off from heaven than when I was a boy. 21. Sonnets from the Portuguese. 14. By Elizabeth Barry Browning. If Lord must love me, let it be for naught, except for love's sake only. Do not say I love her for her smile, her look, her way of speaking gently, for a trick of thought. The fault in well with mine, and so is brought a sense of present ease on such a day. For instance, in themselves, beloved may be changed, or changed for thee, and love so wrought. May be unwrought so. Neither love me, for thy own dear pity's wiping my cheeks dry. A creature might forget to weep, who bore thy comfort long, and lose thy love thereby. But love me for love's sake, that evermore thou mayest love on, through love's eternity. 22. A Sum of Life, by Henry was Longfellow. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is deathless numbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is honest, and the grave is not its goal. Thus thou art to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destiny and our way, but to act like each tomorrow finds us farther than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts lost star and breath. Still like muffled drums are beating, funeral marches to the grave. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb, driven cattle, be a hero in your strife. Trust no future, however present, let the day pass, bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Last agreement all reminders, we can make our lives sublime. And departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time, footprints that perhaps another, sending our life solemn man, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, sin shall take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for only fate, still retrieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. 23. A Jersey Gettysburg by Abraham Lincoln. 47 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to a proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war, we have come to dedicate a portion of the field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that the nation might live. It is altogether fit and proper that we should do this, but in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hollow this ground. The brave men living that who struggle here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or to detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but I can never forget what they did here. It is for us to live in order to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is order for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. Therefore, on this other day, we take increased devotion to the cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here higher resolve than this day shall not have done in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. 24. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was a season of light, it was a season of darkness, it was a spring of hope, it was a winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going dragged to heaven, we were all going dragged the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period. The sum of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good over evil, in the separative degree of comparison only. 25. I Die for Beauty by Emily Dickinson. I die for beauty but was careless, adjusted in the tomb. When one who died for truth was then in an adjoining room, he questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, I die for truth. The two are one. We brethren are, he said, and saw his kinsman met tonight. We talked between the rooms, until the mass had reached our lips and covered up our names. 26. I look into my glass, by Thomas Hardy. I look into my glass and view my wasting skin, and say, oh God, it came to pass. My heart has shrunk us in. Falling I undistressed by hearts grown cold to me, could only weigh my endless rest with equanimity, but time to make me grieve. Pastilles that spar bite, and shakes its fragile friend I leave, with throbbings of noontide. 27. Stray Birds by Noble John Tagore. Stray birds of summer come to my window to sing and fly away, and yellow leaves of autumn, which have no songs, flutter and fall there with a sigh. If you shed tears when you miss the sun, you also miss the stars. What language is LC? The language of internal question. What language is the answer of sky? The language of internal silence. Listen, my heart. Listen, my heart. 27. Stray Birds by Robert John Tagore. Stray birds of summer come to my window to sing and fly away, and yellow leaves of autumn, which have no songs, flutter and fall there with a sigh. If you shed tears when you miss the sun, you also miss the stars. What language is LC? The language of internal question. What language is the answer of sky? The language of internal silence. Listen, my heart, to the whispers of the world, with which it makes love to you. Therefore there shall be fallen, who carry the lantern on the back. And I exist is a perpetual surprise which is life. The sun mornings are no surprise to God. The bird wishes were cloud, the cloud wishes were bird. Do not blame your food because you have no appetite. The fish in the water is silent, the animal on the earth is noisy, the bird in the air is singing. But man has in him the silence of the sea, the noise of the earth, and the music of the air. God finds himself by creating. Life is given to us, we earn by giving it. We come nearest to the great, when we are great in humanity. Telling grace, your steps are small, but you possess the earth under your tread. The infant flower often despise in Christ. Dear world, please do not fret. God grows weary of the kingdom, but never of the flowers. We really walk on, and said let it deceives us. You are a big drop of dew under the lotus leaf. I am the smaller one on its upper side. So do drop to the lake. Be still, my heart. These great trees are polaris. Do not linger to gather flowers to keep them, but walk on, for flowers will keep themselves blooming all your way. 28. Appeal to America by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. In my opinion, the Indian struggle for freedom bears in its consequences not only upon India and England, but upon the whole world. It contains 1/5 of the human race. It represents one of the most ancient civilizations. It has traditions handing down from tens of thousands of years, some of which, to the establishment of the world, remain intact. No doubt the ravages of time have affected the purity of their civilization, as they have that of many other cultures and many institutions. If India is to revive the glory of her ancient past, she can only do so when she has her freedom, the reason for the struggle. Having drawn the attention of the world, I know does not like the fact that we Indians are fighting for our liberty by the fact that means adopted by us for attaining the liberty are unique and, as far as history shows us, have not been adopted by any other people of whom we have any record. The means adopted by us for attaining the liberty are unique and, as far as history shows us, have not been adopted by any other people of whom we have any record. The means adopted are non-violence, not bloodshed, not diplomacy as we understand it nowadays, but they are purely and simply truth and non-violence. No wonder the attention of the world is directed toward this attempt to lead a successful bloodless revolution. Hitherto, nations have fought in the manner of the blue. They have wreaked vengeance upon those who they have considered to be their enemies. We find century national anthems, adopted by great nations, that contain implications upon the so-called enemy. They have vowed destruction and have not hesitated. To take the name of God and seek divine assistance for the destruction of the enemy. We in India have endeavored to reverse the process. We find such national anthems adopted by great nations that they contain implications upon the so-called enemy. They have vowed destruction and have not hesitated to take the name of God and seek divine assistance for the destruction of the enemy. We in India have endeavored to reverse the process. We feel that the law the government's procreation is not a law that should guide the human race. That law is inconsistent with human dignity. I personally will wait, if need be, for ages, rather than seek to attain the freedom of my country through bloody means. I feel in the innermost of my heart, after political experience extending over an unbroken period of close upon 35 years, that the world is seeking to death of blasphemy. The world is seeking a way out, and I flatter myself with the belief that perhaps it will be a privilege of the ancient land of India to show the way out to the hungering world. 29. Chinese and Western civilization contrasted by Bertrand Russell. There is a present in China, a close contact between our civilization and that which is native to the Celestial Empire. It is still a doubtful question whether this contact will bring a new civilization better than either of its parents, or whether it will merely destroy the native culture and replace it by that of America. Contacts between different civilizations have often in the past proved to be landmarks in human progress. Greece learned from Egypt, Rome from Greece. The Arabs from the Roman Empire. The Arabs from the Roman Empire, medieval Europe from the Arabs, and Renaissance Europe from the Byzantines. In many of these cases, the pupils were better than their masters. In the case of China, if we regard the Chinese as the pupils, this may be the case again. In fact, we have quite as much to learn from them as they from us, but there is far less chance of our learning it if I treat the Chinese as our pupils rather than vice versa. It is only because I feel we are unteachable. Western Europe and America have a particularly homogeneous mental life, which I should trace to 3 sources. 1. Greek culture. 2. Jewish religion and ethics. 3. Modern industrialism, which itself is an outcome of modern science. Women take Plato, the Old Testament, and Galileo as representing these 3 elements, which have remained singularly separable down to the present day. From the Greeks we draw literature and the arts, philosophy, and pure mathematics, also the more urban portions of our social outlook. From the Jews we draw fanatical belief, which is French called faith, moral fervor. This which is French called faith, moral fervor, with the conception of sin, religious intolerance, and some part of our naturalism. From science, as a part in industrialism, we drive power and the sense of power, the belief that we are gods, and may just they be the arbiters of life and death. From scientific crisis, we drive also the empirical method, by which almost all real knowledge has been acquired. These 3 elements, I think, account for most of our mentality. When I went to China, I went to teach, but every day that I stay, I thought less of what I had to teach them, and more of what I had to learn from them. Among Europeans who have lived a long time in China, I found this attitude not uncommon, but among those who study short, or who go only to make money, it is sadly rare. It is rare because the Chinese do not excel in a sense we rarely value. I wish I could really value military powers and industrial enterprise, but those who value wisdom or beauty, or even simple enjoyment of life, will find more of these things in China than in the distracted and turbulent West, and will be happy to live where such things are valued. I wish I could hope that China, in return for our scientific knowledge, may give us something of her large tolerance and contemplative peace of mind. 30. And goodwill, by Immanuel Kant. 30. The Ideal Democracy, by Carl L. Becker. All human institutions, we are told, have their ideal forms laid away in heaven, and we do not need to be told that the actual institutions come wrong, but differently to these ideal counterparts. It would be possible then to divide democracy either in terms of the ideal or in terms of the real form, to divide it as government of the people, by the people, for the people, or to divide it as government of the people by the politicians. For whatever pressure groups can get their interests taken care of. But as a historian, I am naturally disposed to be satisfied with a meaning which, in the history of politics, may have commonly attributed to the word, a meaning, needless to say, which is partly from experience, and partly from the aspirations of mankind. So regarded, the term democracy refers primarily to a form of government, and it has always meant government by the many, as opposed to government by the one, government by the people, as opposed to government by a tyrant, a dictator, or an absolute monarch. This is the most general meaning of the word, as men have commonly understood it. 31. The Road Not Taken, by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and began traveled along as do, and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, and took the other as straight as fair, and having perhaps the better climb. because it was grassy and wanted wear. The asphalt lit the passing there, hung wobbling literally about the sand, and both the morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden back. All I kept at first for another day, yet knowing how well these on the way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I strove intolerantly with the sign. Some more edges and edges hence. Two words diverged in a word, and I took the ones less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. 32. Fire and ice, but will be frost. Some say the war will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if they had to perish test, and thinking not enough of hate, to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. 33. Report on the Miracle of Dunkirk by Winston Churchill. I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, if nothing is neglected, and if the best arrangements are made, or still are being made, we shall prove ourselves once again able to defend our island home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary alone, at any rate. That is what we are going to try to do. That is the resolve of His Majesty's government, every mile of land. There is a war of Parliament and the nation, the British Empire, and the French Republic, linked together in their cause and in their need, will defend to the death their native soil, adding each other like good comrades to the utmost of their strength. Even though larger chunks of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo and all these separators of Nazi rule, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with strong confidence and golden strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. And even if we try to not for a moment believe, this island or a large part of it was subjugated and starving, and our empire beyond the seas, armed and guarded by the British fleet, who carried on the struggle until, in God's good time, the new world, with all its power in mind, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old. 34. I resolved to become a jungle doctor by Albert Schweitzer. On October 30th, 1905, a Friday, I dropped into a letterbox in the Avenue de la Grande in Paris. I texted to my parents and to some of my most intimate acquaintances, telling them that at the beginning of the winter term, I shall enter myself as a medical student in order to go later on to Equatorial Africa as a doctor. The plan which I meant now to put into execution had been in my mind for a long time. Having been conceived so long ago as my student days, it struck me as incomprehensible that I should be allowed to lead such a happy life, where I saw so many people around me, resting with care and suffering. Even at school, I had felt stirred, had even got a glimpse of the miserable home surroundings of some of my schoolfellows, and compared them with the absolutely ideal conditions in which we children of the parsonage at Greensburg live. While at the university enjoying the happiness of being able to study, and even to produce some results in science and art, I could not help thinking continually of others who were denied the happiness by the material circumstances or their health. Then one, but rarely summer morning, I settled with myself before I got up that I would consider myself justified in living till I was suited for science and art, in order to devote myself from that forward to the directives of humanity. Many a time already had I tried to settle her meaning lay hidden for me in the saying of Jesus, whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's shall save it. Now the answer was found in addition to the outward and now inward happiness. 35. Fog by Carl Sandburg. The fog comes on little cafe. It is looking over harbor and city on southern hunctions, and then moves on. 36. The decline of the West. And then moves on. 36. The decline of the West by Oswald Spengler. I see in place of an empty figment of one linear history, which can only be kept up by shutting one's eyes to the overwhelming multitude of the facts, the drama of a number of multicultures, each springing with primitive strength from the soil of a mother region, to which it remains firmly bound throughout its whole life cycle, each stamping its material, its mankind, its own image, each having its own ideal, its own passions, its own life, will and feeling, its own death. Here, here indeed are countless light movements, that no intellectual eye has yet discovered. Here are cultures, peoples, languages, truths, colors, landscapes, bloom and age as the oaks and the stone pines, the blossoms, twigs and leaves. But there is no age of mankind. Each culture has its own new possibilities of self-expression, which arise, ripen, decay, and never return. There is not one sculpture, one painting, one mathematics, one physics, but many, each in its deepest essence, different from the others, each living the injunction and self-contained, just as each species of plant has its peculiar blossom or fruit, its special type of growth and decline. These cultures, sublimating life essences, go represent super innocence as the flowers of the field. They belong, like the plants and the animals, to the living nature of culture, and not to the dead nature of Newton. I see world history as a picture of endless formations and transformations, of a marvelous waxing and waning of organic forms. The professional historian, on the contrary, sees this as a sort of tapeworm, industriously adding onto itself one epoch after another. This, the inward and outward fulfillment, the finality that awaits every living culture, is the purport of all historic declines. Amongst them, the decline of classical, which we know so well and fully, and another decline, entirely comparable to its inconstant duration, which will occupy the first centuries of the coming millennium. But is healthy already and sensible in and around us today. The decline of the West. Every culture passes through the edgy phases of the individual man. Each has its childhood, youth, manhood, and old age. 37. General MacArthur's prayer for his son by Douglas MacArthur. Build me a son, O Lord, who will be strong enough to know when he is weak, and brave enough to face himself when he is afraid. One who will be proud and unbending in honest defeat, and humble and gentle in victory. Build me a son whose wishes will not press. Build me a son whose wishes will not take place of deeds. A son who will know thee, and not to know himself is a foundation of knowledge. Lay hand, I pray, not in the path of ease and comfort, but under the stress and spirit of difficulties and challenge. Here let him learn to stand up in the storm. Here let him learn compassion for those who fail. Build me a son whose heart will be clear, whose skill will be high, a son who will master himself before he seeks to master other men, one who will reach into the future yet never forget the past. And after all these things are his, and I pray, enough of a sense of humor, so that he may always be serious, yet never take himself too seriously. Give him humility, so that he may always remember the simplicity of true greatness, the open mouth to wisdom, and the meekness of true strength. Then I, his father, will dare to whisper, I have not lived in vain. 38. 3 Days to See by Helen Keller. How was it possible, I ask myself, to hug for an hour through the earth, and see nothing worthy of note. I who cannot see for hundreds of things to interest me through mere touch. I feel delicate symmetry of a leaf. I press my hands lovingly about the small skin of a silver birch, or the rough shaggy bark of a pine. In the spring, I touch the branches of trees, hopefully in search of a bud, the first sign of awakening nature after her winter sleep. I feel the delightful, velvety texture of a flower, and discover its remarkable convolutions. And something of a miracle of nature is revealed to me. Occasionally, if I am very fortunate, I place my hand gently on the small tree, and feel the happy quiver of a burning fall song. I am delighted to have the cold waters of a brook rush through my open fingers. To me, a large carpet of pine needles or spongy grass is more welcome, and the most luxurious Persian rug. To me, the page end of seasons is a thrilling and unending drama, the action of which is trailing through my fingertips. At times my heart is always longing to see all these things. If I can get so much pleasure from mere touch, how much more beauty must be revealed by sight. Yet those who have eyes apparently see little, the panorama of color and action which fills the world is taken for granted. It is human perhaps to appreciate a little that which we have, and to long for that which we have not. But it is a great pity that in the world of light, the gift of sight is used only as a mere convenience, rather than as a means of adding fullness to life. 39. For Freedoms by Franklin D. Roosevelt. In the future days which we seek to make secure, we look forward to a world founded upon four essential human freedoms. The first is freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is freedom of every person to worship God in its own way, everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want, which, translated into our terms, means economic understandings which will secure to every nation a healthy peacetime life for its inhabitants, everywhere in the world. Everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want, which, translated into our terms, means economic understandings which will secure to every nation a healthy peacetime life for its inhabitants, everywhere in the world. The fourth is freedom from fear, which, translated into our terms, means a worldwide reduction of armaments to such a point and in such a sole fashion that no nation will be in a position to commit an actual physical aggression against any neighbor anywhere in the world. There is no vision of distant millennium. It is a definite basis for a kind of world attainable in our own time and generation. That kind of world is the very antithesis of the so-called new order of tyranny, which a dictator set to create with the crush of a bomb. To the new order we oppose the greater conception, the moral order. A good society is able to face schemes of world domination in four revolutions alike without fear. Since the beginning of our American history, we have been engaged in change, in perpetual peaceful revolution, a revolution which goes on steadily, quietly adjusting itself to changing conditions without a concentration camp or a quick time in the ditch. The world order which we seek is our cooperation of free countries working together in a friendly, civilized society. This nation has spread this destiny in the hands and hearts of its millions of men and women, and its faith in freedom under the guidance of God. Freedom means the supremacy of human rights everywhere. Our support goes to those who struggle to gain those rights or keep them. Our strength is in our unity of purpose. To the high concept, there can be no self-victory. 40. Children, by Khalil Gibran. And the woman who held a bed against the person said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you yet, they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls the warring house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, no tyrants with yesterday. You are the boats from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might. Let his arrows may go spread and far. Let your bending in your archer's hand before guidance. For even as he loves the arrow they flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. 41. I believe by Albert Einstein. Strange is our situation here upon earth. Each of us comes for a short visit, not knowing why. It is sometimes seeming to have a purpose. From the standpoint of daily life, however, there is one thing we do know, that man is here for the sake of other men. Above all, for those upon whose health and well-being unhappiness depends, and also for the countless unknown souls, with whose fate we are connected by a bond of sympathy. Many times a day, I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of my fellow men, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received. My peace of mind is often troubled by the depressing sense that I have brought to heavenly from the work of other men. I do not believe we can have any freedom at all in the philosophical sense, for we act not only under external compulsion, but also by inner necessity. Schopenhauer is saying, "A man can surely do what he wants to do, but cannot determine what he wills. Impress itself upon me in youth, and has always consoled me, when I have witnessed or suffered life's hardships." This conviction is a perpetual breeder of tolerance, for it does not allow us to take ourselves or others too seriously. It makes rather for a sense of humor, to ponder interminably of the reason for one's own existence, or the meaning of life in general, seems to me, from an objective point of view, to be such a folly, and yet everyone holds certain ideals by which he guides his aspiration and his judgment. The ideals which I have already shown before me, and fill me with the joy of living a goodness, beauty, and truth, to make a goal of comfort, or happiness has never appealed to me. A system of etiquette to build on this basis would be sufficient only for half Kaido. The most beautiful thing we can experience is a mysterious. To make a goal of comfort or happiness has never appealed to me. To make a goal of comfort or happiness has never appealed to me. A system of etiquette built on this basis would be sufficient only for half Kaido. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of ultra and science. He to whom this emotion is the stranger. We can no longer pass to wonder and stand left in awe. It is as good as that. His eyes are closed. The insight into the mystery of life, coupled though it be with fear, has also given rise to religion. To know that what is impenetrable to us really exists. Manifesting itself as the highest wisdom, and the most radiant beauty, which our faculties can comprehend only in their most primitive forms. This knowledge, this feeling, is at the center of true religiousness. In this sense, and in this sense only, I belong in the ranks of devotedly religious men. 42. The Old Man and the Sea, by Ernest Hemingway. Good luck, old man. Good luck, the old man said. He fitted the rope lashings of the oars onto the thorpens and, leaning forward, against the thrust of the balance in the water. He began to row out of the harbor in the dark. There were other boats from the other beaches going out to sea, and the old man heard a dip and push of the oars. Even though he could not see them, all the moon was below the house. Sometimes someone was speaking in the boat, but most of the boats were silent, except for the dip of the oars. The spirited part, after they were out of the mouth of the harbor, and each one headed for a part of the ocean, where he hoped to find fish. The old man knew he was going far out, and he left the smell of the land behind, and rode out into the only morning smell of the ocean. In the dark, the old man could feel the morning coming, and as he rode, he heard a trembling sound. As flying fish left the water, and hissing the distant windsman as it soared away in the darkness. He was very fond of flying fish, as they were his principal friends in the ocean. He was sorry for the birds, especially as small delicate dark terns. They were always fine and looking, and almost even friendly, and he thought, the birds have a harder life than we do, except for the lovely birds and the heaven strong ones. Why did they make birds so delicate and fine, as those sea swallows when the ocean can be so cool? She is kind and very beautiful, but she can be so cool and come so suddenly. And such birds and fine, depend hunting, which their small still voices are meant to delicately for the sea. 43. Gone Whispering by Michael Mitchell. The sun was now below the horizon, and the red girl in the rim of the world faded into pink. The sky above turned slowly from azure to a delicate blue-green over robin's egg, and the unearthly stillness of low twilight came stealthily down about her. Shadowy dimness crept over the countryside. The red furrows and grass red roads lost their magical blue color and became plain brown earth. Across the lonely pasture, the horses, mules, and cows stood quietly with the hands of a spiritual fence, waiting to be driven to the stables and supper. They did not like the dark shade of the thickets hedging the pasture creek, and at which their ears had scarlet, as if appreciative of human companionship. In the strange half-light, the tall paths of a river swamp, so warming green in the sunshine, were black against the pastel sky, an impenetrable row of black giants, hiding the slow yellow water at their feet. On the hill across the river, the tall white chimneys of a waxhorn faded gradually into the darkness of the thick oaks surrounding them, and only a foul pinpoint to separate them showed that the house was here. The warmth and balminess of spring encompassed us sweetly, with the moist mouths and new powders, and all the fresh green things pushing up to the air. Sunset and spring and new French greenery, were the miracles whose colored. Their beauty she accepted as casually as the air she breathed and the water she drank, for she had never consciously seen beauty in anything but open faces, horses, sock dresses, and tangible things. In the serene half-light of the terrace of Cap Acres brought a measure of quiet to her disturbing mind. She loved this land so much, without even knowing she loved it as she loved her mother's face under the lamp at Pavilion. For the measure of quiet to her disturbing mind, she loved this land so much, without even knowing she loved it as she loved her mother's face under the lamp at Pavilion. 44. The Autumn Scientific Investigation by William Ivy Beveridge. Albert Einstein distinguishes three types of research workers: those who take on science because it offers them an opportunity to exercise the particular talents, and who exalt it, as an athlete enjoys exercising his powers; those who regard it as a means of livelihood, and who but for circumstances may have become successful businessmen; and lastly, the true devotees who are rare but make a contribution to knowledge, out of proportion to their numbers. Some psychologists consider the man's best work. It is usually done under adversity, and the mental stress, and even physical pain may act as a mental stimulant. Many prominent men have suffered from psychological troubles and various difficulties, but for which perhaps they will never have put forward the effort required to excel. The scientist student gets a large monetary reward for his labors, so he should be freely granted any just fame arising from his work. But the greatest reward is a thrill of discovery. As many scientists attest, it is one of greatest joys. It is one of greatest rewards. It is a thrill of discovery. As many scientists attest, it is one of greatest joys that they have to offer. It gives a tremendous emotional uplift and great sense of well-being and satisfaction. Not only factual discoveries, but a certain realization of a generalization can give the same feeling of exhilaration. As Prince Kropotkin wrote, he who has once in his life experienced this joy of scientific creation will never forget it. 45. Inaugural Address, President F. Kennedy. In your hands, my fellow citizens, more than in mine, will rest the final success or failure of our cause. Since this country was founded, each generation of Americans has been summoned to give testimony to its national loyalty. The graves of young Americans who answer the call to service surround the globe. Now the trumpet summons us again, not as a call to bear arms, the arms we need, not as a call to battle, when battle we are, but a call to bear the burden of a long tireless struggle, year in and year out, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation. A struggle against the common enemies of man, tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. Can we fight against these enemies and grant global alliance? North and South, East and West, that can ensure a more fruitful life for mankind. Will joy in that history covered, in a long history of the world. Only a few generations have been granted the rule of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger, and do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which bring to this endeavor, will lead our country and all who serve it, and the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. My fellow citizens of the world, ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of men. Finally, hold your citizens of America or citizens of the world. Ask of us the same high standards of strength and sacrifice which we ask of you. As the good countries are only your reward with history, the final judge of our deeds, let us go for us to lead the land we love, asking his blessing and his help, but knowing that here on earth God's work must truly be our own. 46. A Theory of Justice by John Rawls. Justice is the first virtue of social institutions. As truth is of systems of thought, a theory, however elegant and economical, must be rejected or revised if it is untrue. Likewise, laws and institutions, no matter how efficient and well arranged, must be reformed or abolished if they are unjust. Each person possesses an inviolable ability founded on justice that even the welfare of society as a whole cannot override. Likewise, laws and institutions, no matter how efficient and well arranged, must be reformed or abolished if they are unjust. Each person possesses an inviolable ability founded on justice that even the welfare of society as a whole cannot override. For this reason, justice denies the loss of freedom for some. It is made right by the greater good shared by others. It does not allow little sacrifices imposed on the few. Little sacrifices imposed on the few, at all way by the larger sum. of advantages enjoyed by many. Therefore, in a just society, the liberties of equal citizenship are taken as subtle. The rights secured by justice are not subject to political bargaining or to the calculus of social interests. The only thing that permits us to acquiesce in an erroneous theory is the lack of a better one. In an erroneous theory is the lack of a better one. Analogously, an injustice is tolerable only when it is necessary to avoid an even greater injustice. Many first virtues of human activities, truth and justice, are uncompromising. This proposition seems to express our intuitive conviction of the permanency of justice. No doubt they are expressed too strongly. In any event, I wish to inquire whether these contentions are similar to the unsound, and if so, how they can be accounted for. To this end, it is necessary to work out a theory of justice, in the light of which these assertions can be interpreted and assessed. 47. I have a dream by Martin Luther King. I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is the dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream on the Royal House of Georgia. I have a dream that one day on the Royal House of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a desert swollen with the heat of injustice, swollen with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of skin but by the content of the character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its religious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interpretation and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls, as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every high mountain shall be made low, and rough places will be made plain, and crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see together. 48. Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. It was morning, and the new sun sparkled gold across the ripples of gentle sea. A megaphone shore and fisherboat churned the water, and the wall for breakfast flock flashed through the air, till a color of 1,000 seagulls came to dodge and fight for better food. It was another beauty day beginning. By way of alone, all by himself beyond boat and shore, Jonathan Livingston Seagull was practicing. 100 feet in the sky, he lowered his feet, lifted his beak. Was trained to hold a painful, hard-twisting curve through his wings. The curved man lay who flies slowly, and now he stood until the wind was a whisper in his face. Until the ocean still stood beneath him, he narrowed his eyes in fierce concentration, held his breath for one single more inch of curve. Then his spirit was lawful. He stole and fell. Seagull, as you know, never falter, never stall. To stall in the air is for land disgrace, and it is dishonor. But Jonathan Livingston Seagull, under strangely is once again in the trembling hard curve, slowing, and stalling once more. Was no ordinary bird, most guns don't bother to learn more at the simplest factual fact. How to get from shore to foot and back again. Slowing, and stalling once more. Was no ordinary bird, most guns don't bother to learn more at the simplest factual fact. How to get from shore to foot and back again. How to get from shore to foot and back again. For most girls, it does not fly in their matters but eating. For this girl, though, it was not eating their matters but flight. More than anything else, Jonathan Livingston Seagull loved to fly. This kind of thinking he found is not the way to make oneself popular with other birds. Even his parents were dismayed As Jonathan spent whole days alone, making hundreds of low-level guys experimenting. 49. Lyrics. 1. Morning has broken. Morning has broken, like the first morning. Blackbird has broken, like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning. Praise for the spring, fresh from the world. So will the rain snowfall, sunlight from heaven, like the first dewfall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the way garden, spring completeness where he feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born over one night, Eden's our prayer. Praise recitation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. 2. Edelweiss. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You are happy to meet me, blossom of snow, may you blooming girl forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. 3. Sunrise, sunset. Is this the little girl I carry? Is this the little boy I play? I don't remember growing older. When they lay, when they forget to be a beauty, when they got to be so tall. Wasn't yesterday when there was more. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. Swiftly follow the days. Seasons turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we guide. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. Swiftly fly the years. One season following another, let them with happiness and tears. What was the wisdom can I give them? How can I help to ease their way? Now they must learn from one another, day by day. And look so natural together, just like the newly we should be. Each let all kinds of peace, and still for me. 4. Silver threads among the gold. Darling, I am growing old. Silver threads among the gold. Shine upon my brow today. Life is fading fast away. But my darling, you will be always young and fair to me. Yes, my darling, you will be always young and fair to me. When your hair is silver white, and your cheeks no longer bright, with the roses of the mind, I will keep so lips and say, oh my darling, my alone you have never outgrown. Yes, my darling, my alone you have never outgrown. 5. To serve with love. Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone. By my mind, I know they will still and on. But how do you think someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? It isn't easy, but I'll try. If you want the sky, I'd ride across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high. To serve with love. Those schoolgirl to serve with love. The time has come for closing books, and long last books must end. And as I leave, I know that I am leaving my best friend, a friend who taught me right from wrong, and will from strong. That's a lot to learn. What can I give you in return? If you wanted the moon, I will try and make her start. But I would rather you let me give my heart to serve with love. 背诵完毕，谢谢大家。